Hey, what's up? What's up? How are you guys doing? Welcome to my live signing. This is awesome. First of all, I'm really excited to be here with you guys and talk a little bit about my book, talk a little bit about why I wrote it and what you can expect from it. This is actually a very casual situation. I'm just chilling here, in my crib, and my wife is somewhere. She can be here soon. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the book. Now, some of you have been wanting live copies, or rather signed copies. I guess there are no live copies. There's no such thing. But if you've been wanting signed copies, this is your chance to get it. Or if you have any questions, this is your chance. If you're tuning in on premiercollectibles.com/pumps, this is your opportunity to actually get your signed copy and get some questions in there. All right. I'm excited to talk to you. But so for the next few minutes, let me tell you a little bit about why I wrote this book. People ask me all the time, why the book? Why'd you write a book? What's the big deal? I have been counseling people for over 20 some years. I can't believe it's been that long. Over 20 some years, man. I started counseling. My first counseling session was when I was a young guy. I couldn't have been any more than 25, 26 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue. But, I had to learn quick because I had studied counseling at college. I had my master's degree by then. And, with emphasis in counseling, master's of divinity, emphasis on family stuff. And so I knew all the basics, but I had no idea. But look, with time and experience and more training at doctoral studies and what have you, after a while, I started realizing, wait a minute, I like this stuff. I like seeing families turn their lives around. I like seeing people, finally getting the light coming on. They get that aha moment. That aha moment? The moment when everything comes together and you realize, dang, this can work. This can actually work. I think we might have something here. I love to see that happen. So I wrote this book, Marriage Ain't for Punks. Well, I ain't got to hold it up. It's all over the place. I wrote this book, and the reason I wrote it was so that all the people who've been asking for counseling, and I cannot accommodate everybody, that I put everything in this book. All right. Well, not everything, but I put a whole lot in it. It's actually, roughly about 230 pages of information, of techniques, or what have you. And you know what? Look, it came out on the 7th. From what I understand, the reviews are pretty good so far. I mean, people are telling me some good stuff about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I wrote that? Yeah, I did. And so it's very interesting. I love the fact that all that I've been telling people for all these years, that I could put it in a book. And I think this is sort of like 20 years of my heart, 20 years of counseling, 20 years of coaching has all culminated in this book, Marriage Ain't for Punks. Okay, so that's basically, why I wrote this book, because I needed people to get help. Did you know that marriage is like, I just did a wedding last weekend, actually, and I was telling them this. Marriage is not easy, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. When you get it and it's going good, man, your marriage is going great and everybody's happy, and that's the easy part of marriage. That's the easy part of marriage. But when it sucks, man, and you ready to walk out the house and you can't stand one another, that's when it gets tough, but that's where your foundations are built on. That's when your marriage really starts coming into fruition. Things start really happening. A little bit about the book, some more. I'm going to tell you some more about the book. There was one chapter that I'm especially proud of. It's about a couple, Tyson and his wife, Jessica. Tyson was Black and Jessica was white, and they met and they married against the wishes of their parents, against their parents' wishes. Neither of their parents felt that this should have happened. Her parents felt that, she should have married someone in her own race, and his parents felt the same way. But they felt that love was all we need. Love conquers all. So they married each other. Now, this is kind of deep. So if y'all ain't ready for it, you remember the book is entitled Marriage Ain't for Punks. So if y'all ain't ready for it, sorry, here it comes. So they got married and they loved each other. And the beginning of every chapter starts with a story, a really interesting story that connects you with the couple. And then I'll show you how how we dealt with that issue that they had. And so what happened was that they were doing well, things were going great. And then he came down one day, he came back home from work one day and was really upset. And he was wondering, hey, she was like, what's going on, baby? And he said, look, man, they discriminated against me at my job, and I'm really not feeling good about it. She's like, well, tell me what happened. And they go on this conversation. She said, are you sure that's what it was, discrimination? He said, yeah, I know what it looks like. And she says, are you sure? And so they got into this argument, and she tried to convince him that maybe that wasn't it. Maybe he was overreacting. And he got upset and called her, said that you're being privileged. You don't understand. And she responded by saying, well, why are you being like that? Why are you acting like a N-word? Yeah. I'm going to let that settle and marinate for me. Yeah, it was very deep. Actual story, names have been changed to protect the innocent or the guilty. But after that, I got a phone call. And that phone call basically was one which said, Pastor Cal, can you help us? We are in trouble. I said, what happened? I just said something I shouldn't have said. The wife called me, and I went there. And I tell you a little bit about that. Again, so all the names have been changed, so nobody's business is out there. And a lot of the facts I had to move around so as not to completely identify nobody. So the name, so it's loosely based on couples, but the N-word thing actually happened. And so I had to come in there and actually help them through that. Man, that was tough. That was tough. Because I'm sitting there listening to the whole story, and she's telling me the story, and I'm getting a little bit hot. You know, you call them what? But at any rate, it was all good because we managed to talk through some things, and you'll have to read the book to find out what happened in that relationship and whether or not they made it. The book tells a little bit more. But I talk about so many things through here. And this is not the book that's just going to tell you, just be happy and all things are going to be great. And no, it's so much more than that. This is very deep. It's very straightforward. And I have a special visitor with me. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Honey, don't trip. Okay. Wait. What? Left, right. Okay. This, y'all know, my wife. Here. Come here, babe. What do you want to do? I will put it on top of the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Guess who joined me, boys and girls? It's my wife.
Hey guys. I'm looking at myself. Hey guys.
Yeah. So Wendy is with me. I just didn't tell them about the book.
Oh, very
and why
cool.
I wrote the book.
Oh, very cool.
Why I wrote the book, and the fact that, hey, look, this is a labor of love in 20-some years. Wendy and I have been doing conferences for 12 years since we got married.
Yeah, since we've been married.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
We met and married what, 6?
Within 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, somebody introduced us on the steps of the church, and
Stop. This is the best tea in the world. My wife is a mixologist. She makes stuff. I love my wife. She gave me that. But she makes tea.
Appropriate.
It is, because it's true. But she makes this is what, sorrel?
Yeah, it's hibiscus. It's sorrel. So I'm from the Caribbean, so we do the Caribbean thing in this house. Sometimes it's hibiscus. It's really good.
It's
and
delicious.
Actually, I think it makes you lose weight. I think so. Because I've been, dropping off a couple pounds since I've been using it.
You don't need to drop off no pounds. I keep telling you.
Yeah. Let's get back on the book.
Dropping off a couple pounds. Whatever. I might need some. But you good.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's why we wrote the book, and and I'm excited about it. So many people have written, oh my God, what are some of the comments that we put?
Oh, this book is exceptional. I started listening to the audio version, and it's
like
just
for 2 hours. I was reading it.
Yeah. Listen for 2 hours straight, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
This one person said that it left her feeling. She read the entire thing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have wrote it longer.
She said it left her feeling confident and some of the word, but it was a good word. Yeah. Yeah. So the reviews are coming in. We have some on Amazon where people are saying, I'm single. Single people are reading it, guys.
I know. We have a lot of
people
single.
And this book is a must read for anybody who's interested in getting into a relationship.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much hitting the bases. It's hitting all the bases as we're getting the feedback, the reviews from people. It's
great.
Awesome.
I'm very excited about it. You know, and this is not just, we didn't write a book just for the heck of writing.
No.
You know, this was something that we really felt we needed to do, because honestly, I mean, we really want to help couples. I mean, that was the one thing we decided, because I always talk about marriage goals.
Yeah.
That's one thing we decided when we first got married in those 6 months.
Yep.
That look, we're going to, that's going to be our marriage goal, is to help couples through sharing with them our history, sharing with them our pain, sharing with them our past, and showing them how to get through.
And you always say something that's.
What do I always say, baby?
You say a lot of things.
Tell them what I always say.
You always say, you know, you can learn by observation or participation.
Yep.
And we've been on the other side. We know what that journey is like. We know, you know, how to direct people, you know, how to guide people actually. And you can use the nuggets that we give, you can implement the tools that we give and prevent, you know, your relationship from going down the road that ours went down. Yeah, we know everybody's situation is unique. We understand that. However, there are just some general tools that can take your relationship to the next level. Right. And if you can learn from somebody else who's been there before, and you don't have to go through those rough waters, why not? Why not?
You know, I forgot I'm here to sign books, all right?
Oh, yeah, come on.
So I'm signing this one, yeah.
So do we answer any questions yet?
No, we have not, baby. I've been waiting for you. I can't do anything without you. You know that.
All right.
I'm signing this book, Grow in Love. Because I believe that you don't fall in love, right?
That's right.
You grow in it.
That's right.
All right.
Hello, huge fans. Our question is, for a couple that feels strong in our relationship after 11 years, what is your advice to remain strong for another 11 years plus?
For a couple who they said they've been strong for 11 years.
Yeah, they've been strong for 11 years.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
And it's actually what we were talking about just this morning.
Yeah,
remember, we were saying, you know, we're in our 13th year, and it's like, you know, the love and the admiration and the respect and the compassion and the passion, you know, it's all there like 10 folds, 100 folds. And it's been 13 years, 12 plus years. We're in our 13th year. And it's just amazing when you can be in a relationship like that. And that doesn't mean that you haven't gone through any bumps along the way, because Lord knows we've been through ours. But there are just certain things you can do. There are just certain things you can do, certain tools you can implement just to keep that fire burning. And actually, you talk about that in the book.
Absolutely. And it's funny because, you know, someone once said, you know, whatever it took to get her is what it takes to keep her. Wrong answer. No, whatever it took to get her is what it took to get her. What it takes to keep her or to keep him is going to change as you grow and as life grows. Because the person you are today is not the person you were when you got her or when she got you. So the person you are now is going to take evolution. You're going to have to evolve. You're going to have to know more. You're going to have to dig deeper. You're going to have to communicate more. So yeah, it's definitely possible to keep strong for another level.
Yeah, and that's great because that question came from James from Ohio. So
James, I used to live in Ohio.
It's a guy asking that question.
Awesome. I used to live in Ohio. What part of Ohio?
Dayton.
Hey, I used to live in Columbus. What's up, James? All right, go ahead. What's next?
All right. Laura from Arkansas. She asks, in your experience, how does the frequency of couples being intimate impact their relationship and ability to be vulnerable?
Wow. The frequency of couples being intimate. We're talking about sex.
We're talking about intimacy, yeah.
But we're talking about sexual intimacy.
Well, it could be. I mean,
you know,
it's a part of intimacy.
it is. It's not the whole kit and caboodle.
But I think a lot of times.
Did I say kit and caboodle?
That's what you said. I think a lot of times when people talk about intimacy, most likely they're talking about sex.
They're talking about sex.
Yeah, but intimacy is more than just the act.
But the question is what now? We started talking about sex and I got all off track.
Okay. In your experience, how does the frequency of couples being intimate impact their relationship and ability to be vulnerable?
It has to do with sex because intimacy, being intimate emotionally is not yes, that should happen all the time.
Like intimacy.
What? Yeah. So, but intimacy, look, frequent sex is important in a relationship, and frequency is defined by each individual. I mean, no one can determine what is frequent and what is infrequent. Yeah. But the whole idea of coming together, and we talk about this on the show, but the whole idea of coming together and expressing love in the highest form of communication, because I believe that sex is the highest form of communication. Yeah. It's like when we first got to meet each other, remember when we first met each other? We didn't have sex, right? No, stop. Okay. No, when we first met each other. Okay. When we first met each other, you rejected me. Right. Yeah, it's no secret she rejected me. I was like, what the heck? I've never been rejected. She rejected me. So I was like, okay, fine, I gotta try harder. So what happened is that, but after that first conversation we had, we started getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. Well, we went out on a date. She didn't want to go on a date with me. So I said, we'll go out on an outing. Let's go on an outing. She knew it was a date, but she just fell for that. She was just thinking. Well, so what happened was that the more we got to know each other, the closer we wanted to be. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We wanted to hold hands. Right? Yeah. And then we wanted to, hug. Yeah. And then we wanted to, maybe kiss. Yeah, you don't have to. And that's where we stopped. Right. Because we only dated for 6 months before we got married because we were grown. We recognized we couldn't hold up to that point. Yeah. I think as far as like the ability to be vulnerable, it speaks to the different parts of intimacy though. It's not just the sexual act. Because like Cal said, it's the act is like a culmination of the closeness that you build, and so it is important to be intimate. It does play into how vulnerable you can be or how vulnerable you will get. I think there are some people though who are able to be intimate with someone and not necessarily be vulnerable. Yeah. I think there are two different things that we're talking about here. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. I think that you can be. Some people just look at sexual intimacy, as functional. It's just a utilitarian act as opposed to creating vulnerability. So like one wife told us, I'm mad at him. I'm not mad at that. It. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. But yeah, infrequent sex can cause problems. I've talked to people all the time who has listed the lack of sexual intimacy as a major problem. It is because people, we're sexual beings. We want it. But then, what do you say though to like we had a guy, a husband at a conference one time, and he said he and his wife they have sex once a month, maybe? Yeah, I think he said that. Maybe once every 2-3 months or something like that. Yeah. And you asked them about it, and they were good with it. And that's fine. And they had a great relationship. They were happy in love and everything, but they just. And that's the whole relativity thing. That was their frequency. Yes, it's relative. That's the whole relativity thing. It doesn't have to be 3 times a day. I don't know who the heck can have sex 3 times a day. Well, newlyweds sometimes. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess. Yeah. No. My bad. I'm sorry. What? Did you? Okay. What? All right, let's go to the next question. You keep signing, and then we'll go to the next question. So Kyle from Memphis wants to know, when did you first realize God was calling you to spread His word? No, that's great. I seldom get questions having to do with my position as a pastor or as minister.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm glad you asked that, and I will answer. For those of you guys who don't care about my religious background, you can just put your fingers in your ears right now.
No, they want to hear.
Okay, well.
They want to know you.
Okay.
You author the book. What you talking about?
Yeah. Okay, my bad. See how she corrects me?
Yeah.
What I tell you, women. See, when did I first recognize that God was calling me to spread His word? Yeah. Let me tell you something interesting. I had no idea what I was supposed to do with my life. I always believed that I was supposed to be. I've always believed that I was supposed to be an agent of somehow. In fact, I believe we all. I think all of us, our mission on this life is to help someone else. Our mission on this earth is to be a light, you know, in some dark space. And I didn't really know what my candle was where it was supposed to shine, or what direction it was supposed to shine.
Yeah.
Undergraduate, I was a law school, a pre-law major, and then I was a music major. And I had no idea. I believe that, and this is how I believe it. I'm keep it short. I believe that God calls you to be a light for Him. He gives you that calling, and then you have to choose based on what you're good at, based on your talents, how you're going to package that thing. I chose to package mine in pastoral ministry. Mm-hmm. You know, I could have been an attorney and still been spread the gospel. I could have met, because I have a good one of my best friends in the world is an attorney, and he does that. I mean, there are people. Somebody wanted to pray with him after court. He didn't preach. He just did it. But they said because it was there that he recognized his calling. Yeah. So I don't want you to focus on the fact that, hey, look, God has called me. I got to be out preaching. Look, whatever you do that with all your heart. Wherever you are, you know, He's calling you to be a light. Then you figure out how to package that.
Yeah.
Based on your talents and based on what you do.
Yeah, I think even with that, like I can say for me personally, because I sat under his pastoral leadership, and apart from just pastoring, I feel like you have the unique ability to help people feel better about themselves. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter like what you're going through, what you did, you know, you remember that people are humans. And you treat them that way first, as opposed to, you know, based on the thing that they did.
Right, absolutely.
Because most times, you know, most people, when they do something wrong, you've said this, when they do something wrong, they pretty much know it's wrong. And they're not coming to you to beat them down further.
No.
You know, but they're coming to you to get some type of assistance in seeing any light they have within.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And you have always had that great ability to do that. Because I can say for me personally, I grew as a person being married to this man, because he's an amazing husband. And as a pastor, my spiritual life just kind of like, it just exploded. It took a different direction, and I wanted to learn more. I wanted to grow more spiritually. So that's my personal.
I love her.
Testimony about it.
I really do. I know, but I love the fact that you can express it so well.
You probably answered this while I was making the tea.
Go ahead then.
But Francine from San Diego asks, what was the inspiration for writing this book? You probably answered that already.
Yeah, I did.
So we'll just go ahead to Tracy. Francine, just
wanted to give
you a shout out. No, I wanted to call her name.
Yeah.
You know, call your city.
Yeah, I was 20 years of counseling, you know, and pastoral counseling and meeting couples. That was a big inspiration, and people need help. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, can I just add to that?
Absolutely.
Because when we got together and we started doing marriage coaching, we felt like, because for us it's everything that we do is spiritually undergirded, and we felt like the results that we were seeing from the couples that we were talking to, just the small groups of couples, it was just so just amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like, and we felt like God was telling us that He was going to take this thing on a bigger level, on a much greater level. And we didn't know how that was going to come. You know, we started like, oh, okay, that's what we feel God is telling us. That's how the Spirit is leading us. So let's build a website and let's go on here, push it. And nothing we did worked. Nothing we did until, and this leads nicely into Tracy's question. Are you still signing?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Oh, Tracy, how did you how did you end up on Married at First Sight, and would you have married Wendy at first sight?
Yeah. Have you seen her?
I would have married her too.
Holy crap, are you kidding me?
At
Yeah, I
first
would have
sight.
married her at first sight. She was gorgeous. But no, and seriously, when I first met her, I wanted to know her better. I was willing not to. I mean, after she rejected me so bad. But yes, I definitely. I think I would have married her at first sight. You know, I think I would have. You know, I would have married her at first sight, and I would have gotten to know her and grown with her. And yeah, absolutely. I think we were destined to be together, and I honestly believe that. I don't think that there was anything that could have happened in this world that would have. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit.
Well, yeah.
But I just believe we were destined to be together. So yes, to answer that question, yes. If I was on Married at First Sight and I met this woman, I would have kissed every expert.
How'd you end up Married at First Sight?
How did
you end up Married at First Sight?
Sorry, on the show.
That's the first part of the question.
Oh, duh. Well, okay, this is how I ended up on it. Actually, we both were contacted. Wendy was talking about how we had a presence online and et cetera, you know, with counseling couples, and we were doing some videos and stuff. And so what happened was that we were contacted by a casting agency, and they wanted us to help them find a couple for a show, the 7-year switch.
Yeah.
And so we found them a couple that was in severe trouble.
Or we had some couples who were doing pre-divorce counseling.
Yeah, we were doing pre-divorce counseling, and they were in severe trouble. So we decided to suggest a couple for them, and they liked the couple. They chose the couple. So they kept talking about what they had learned from us during the filming. You know, the gentleman and his wife kept talking about what they had learned from us. So the EP, the executive producer, wanted to film us during the counseling session. So I told them, I said, look, we're going to do the counseling session, but I don't know anything about TV. But what I do know is that this is a real counseling session. So once we start, I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to repeat nothing. I'm not going to go back for effect. Once it gets started, I'm going to end. I'm going to go all the way through. You can go back and do whatever you want to do after that. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know if I should tell them or anything, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like,
and we were really adamant about it too. Don't stop.
Do not stop us, because this is not TV to us. And so what happened was that after the session, they were like, okay, wow. They were texting people and texting the CEO of the production company and what have you, and found out that they said that we really need these people. We need them on our show. We need them.
Yeah, you tell it so simply though. You
I know.
Excitement in it.
Baby, you're the excitement person.
Unbeknownst to us,
you're the excitement person.
A few of the production crew were sending text messages to the executive producer, and because she got them, and they didn't know, like that wasn't linked. They weren't like, oh, let's all send. And so she was excited about what they were saying, so she called and she spoke with Cal. And then the excitement grew, and then we went out to dinner, and from the dinner, everything just took off. It exploded. So
there you have it. That's how we did it. That's how we did it. And then
that was the avenue God had for us.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's how that happened. And the rest, as they say, is history.
That was from Tracy.
Tracy! Aw.
So Alec from Dallas wants to know.
Alec from Dallas.
What would you consider your greatest accomplishment?
What would I consider my greatest accomplishment? I'm not just being corny. Honestly, my greatest accomplishment is marrying. I'm serious. It is. My greatest accomplishment. I've seen more change in my life, more advancement in my life, more blessings in my life since I've been married to this woman than I've ever seen at any other point in my life. So that would be my greatest accomplishment, is having the good sense to pursue her, you know, in spite of her not wanting to be pursued.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. We can think about it.
Okay, So Thomas from Thornburg, New Jersey, he wants to know, was it harder getting started and writing the first chapter, or knowing when and how to stop and writing the last chapter?
Yes and yes. Man, I'm telling you, it was so. I think the toughest part of writing a book is.
Are you signing while you're talking?
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be signing.
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay.
The toughest.
The part of what I do.
The toughest part of what am I talking about? Writing a book.
Yeah.
The toughest part is getting started. Is that first chapter, man, and going. I always remember A Tale of Two Cities. I always try to remember great books that started, and it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Wow, I need something like that. Or like Moby Dick, Call Me Ishmael. Some books that had great first lines. My thing is, how do I get a great first line? I don't know if I got a great first line or not, but that was my big thing, is I need a great first line. And once I got that, though, I mean, look, we had been compiling material for years.
Yeah.
My first great line in the chapter 1 is, as a kid, I weighed barely 100 pounds dripping wet. That's pretty cool. It is very true. Chucky was easily twice my size and 5 years older, with a mean streak as big as his protruding forehead. So that's the biggest. It's the first chapter. That's the first 2 sentences. So getting started was yes, but once I got started, then thank God for an incredible publishing company. They helped so much in showing us how to place stuff. I did all the writing. There was no ghostwriter, but showing us how to place stuff.
Though. There was no ghostwriter.
Yeah. All this stuff we did.
Yes.
So yeah, the answer is yes and yes. Getting started was tough, and then at the very end, it's like, oh my God, I didn't think I was gonna have enough material, but once we started, the book only could be so big. It's not a novel.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I got to cut stuff out now.
Yeah,
so it was kind of tough. I'm sorry.
I think we need to go faster with the answers because we have a lot of questions. Okay, so Katie from Louisville wants to know.
In other words, shut up.
No, what do you want readers to take away from this book? That's a good question. What do you want readers to take away from this book? I'm buying a copy for myself and my friend. What
I want readers to take away I want readers to read this book, and I want it to become sort of an evergreen manual for them, where they can go back to it and look at the different topics, for instance, to look at the different sections, whether it's a section on communication, a section on establishing boundaries, or a section on change, or what love looks like, or forgiveness, or happiness, or speaking your mind, or whatever. I want them to be able to use this as a manual and say, you know what, we're having a serious issue in our relationship. Let's look this up and see what the book says about it. Mm-hmm. I want them to use this book as though it's their coffee table counselor.
Yeah.
That's what I want to get out of it. And that's going to be different for everybody, but I want this to be their coffee table counselor, because people need something that's a consistent help to them. So that's what I want.
And ideally, what I feel like you will get from the book, and what we hope you will get, is the ability to be more introspective.
Oh yeah.
And not look at the other person.
That too.
Because a lot of times, we tend to look at the people around us in a situation and find blame or lay blame there, and not look at ourselves. Like, what are we doing? If we're calling somebody selfish, am I selfish? Right. Is there anything that I've done, that I can change? Irrespective of what they're doing, what can I do to change the situation? Me. What can I do to change me? Yeah. Because in the end, that's all you can do. That's all you have the power over. It's you.
Yeah, you can't change anyone else.
Yep.
No one else. So yeah.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know, and I feel like Patrick from Atlanta.
Patrick, right
here. I
feel
like we've covered this already for you, Patrick, but I just wanted to give you that shout out. But you're asking, what makes this a no-nonsense guide, and can you give us a sneak peek of what to expect in the book? I feel like you've gotten a sneak peek already.
Yeah, but it's and if you want more,
you just kind of answer the question by
tell me more. But if you want more, you can go on my website actually, and you can hear the introduction.
Yeah, even for the audio version. Yeah. Tiffany from Philadelphia, what are your keys to good communication? My boyfriend and I struggle with that the most.
Girl, you should have had this book yesterday.
I'm telling you.
The keys to good. I deal with one of the chapters deal with the 7 pathways of communication, and one of the readers have already commented about that. What a benefit it's been to their relationship. Also, the 7 pathways of communication. Which has to do with your tone, your gestures, and it just goes your sight, your eyes, and your voice, your pitch, etc. Mm-hmm. And then also it deals with how to talk to someone, talking to as opposed to talking with, and then talking at. It will take the rest of this day, but so get the book. This talks very in depth. About communication. Yep. It's a big deal.
Have all the tools.
Yeah.
So Cameron from St. Louis. I've been in a relationship for 5 years and just bought a house. I saw that your book was about managing life with a person. What are your suggestions for doing this? Our struggles, our independence, and shared space. That's exactly how it is.
Okay. Are they married?
Our struggles, our independence, and shared space.
So are they married?
She said she's been in it doesn't seem like it.
So I've been in a relationship.
And she just bought a house.
Okay. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Because
you actually just answered that on
I did. Cameo. Yeah. I'm on Cameo, guys. But I just answered that for someone.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm kind of old school in that regard. If you've been together for 5 years, I don't know if it's a mutual agreement or if he's not stepping to the plate or what have you. I still believe in marriage. The book is Marriage Ain't for Punks. I still believe in marriage. I still believe that it's
although it's not just for married people.
It's not just for married people. Well, they're not married, but
the fact that she's looking at the book, though, she's thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. But I believe that at some point, if you're moving in together, you need to give yourself a timeline. Look, ideally, if my daughter asked me about moving in with somebody, I would say, honey, no, absolutely not. Nope. Why buy the cow? You can get the milk. I know I'm not calling nobody a cow. I'm not saying anything like that.
No.
But that's an old adage.
It's just an adage.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. But the thing is, I think that there are certain liberties that you take by just chilling out together, as opposed to having some kind of moral and legal agreement. And people say, well, marriage is outdated. Marriage is defunct. It's not necessary. I get that. I get what they're saying. I don't agree with it. I believe marriage is very much in vogue. I believe people still want that commitment. People still want to know that this person is with me. And not only are we bound morally or emotionally, we're bound legally. There's something to be said for that. Okay, so.
Well, you just want to consider the ramifications of, not being bound that way, especially legally. You know what I mean? Like you said, like you were saying, it's kind of like when there is not that piece of paper, it makes it easier in people's minds. And when you talk to people, actually, that's what I'm saying, and it's not everybody across the board, but it makes it easier to feel like you don't have to stick to your commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen it over and over again. I mean, in the last 20-some years, I've counseled people who were living together. One of our favorite couples came to us for premarital counseling. Mm-hmm. Pre-dating counseling, pre-engagement counseling, mm-hmm. And then premarital counseling. And they were living together. I didn't counsel them against it, but they did. But we counseled them through that. And now they've been married, and we treat them like our kids. I mean, they're awesome human beings. So it can work. It's just not ideal.
Yeah, well, I mean, even though we're expressing what our opinion is, we're not telling you what to do.
No, absolutely not. We can't. You're grown.
But we just want to tell you things to be mindful of.
Absolutely.
Just be mindful that when you make that kind of commitment, it's just easier for a lot of people to walk out of it because you're not tied legally.
Yeah.
And when it comes to,
especially if you're buying a house.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that. When it comes to making big purchases like a home, then one person tend to feel sometimes that, this is yours, it's not mine. Like, what do we have together?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the owner, sometimes the owner of things, whatever it is, they tend to have that feeling of like, this is mine, it's not yours, so I can tell you to leave whenever I want, kind of thing. So it's just, those are things that you just have to be mindful of.
Absolutely.
You do what you want, but just be mindful of those things.
Again, read the book though. If you want to talk about communicating and being in the same space and how to get along.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It applies to you.
All right. Now, Beyonce from
Beyonce.
Savannah. No, Deontay.
Okay, I was like, wow, we made it.
From Savannah. I don't think she would have sent it in here, but
she would have come with a helicopter in there.
Right. How did you come up with the title of the book? It's true, but curious to know whose idea it was to use that title for your book.
Well, the title came from actually when I was on the show and Married at First Sight. I was talking to a guy in Miami. It was my first season.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think I may have said this in a conference or something before, but I had said to a couple people. But what was interesting is that I was trying to get him to man up and to understand, that look, this is not just something you can just throw away. Be lighthearted at. You got to seriously. This is a serious thing.
Oh wait, can I just interject?
Yeah.
He didn't want to talk to anybody but Cal. He was like, I'm not talking to anybody unless it's Pastor Cal.
You know what? She's so good for my ego.
So awesome, because when he spoke to him, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I told him, I said, you know what? I said, look, man, and I uttered the words, marriage ain't for punks.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's for grown-ups. And so I guess that sort of reverberated, throughout, throughout the show, and became sort of a catchphrase, which I had been saying for quite some time. And so when it came time for me to write the book, Marriage Ain't for Punks seemed to outline exactly how we feel about marriage. It's not tough. It's not easy, but look, our marriage ain't perfect, but I think we're perfect for each other. And it's just a wonderful journey.
My cup says.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I'm supposed to drink.
Yeah, we don't.
So Harrison from Jackson wants to know, in your opinion, how much does age matter when it comes to marriage?
Oh my gosh. How much does age matter? I think that age does matter if it matters to both people. If it's something that you are thinking about, that's worrying you, that's bothering you, let me give you a personal testimony here. My sister, my late sister, God bless her, was 19 when she got married. And mind you, this was back in the 70s. But she was 19 when she got married, and her husband was 34. Now, my father, who didn't speak a whole lot, was livid. No, I'm sorry, my mother was livid. But my father actually told her, look, if they love each other, let it go. But they were like, well, how old is that? 16 years difference. And, their marriage, was it rough? Yes, but they actually had one of the most successful marriages, one of the happiest marriages that I knew of at that time. So it can work, but you have to be too mature human beings. You have to be too mature human beings.
Yeah.
And if age becomes an issue for you, then it's going to be mature.
Yeah. So Sheena, from, where is that?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
Right outside Nashville. I know that. You should live in Nashville.
Do you believe in soulmates?
Do I believe in soulmates?
Yep. And if so, are we allowed only one lifetime?
I do. Look, the whole idea of
short answer is no.
No, what a soulmate?
Yeah, for you, like what you're gonna say.
Well, no, I'm not gonna say I don't believe in soulmates. I believe that there are people who are. I don't believe that there's one person who is made for you, and if you don't marry that person, I'm not finding your soulmate. I don't believe that. I believe that you could be compatible with a number of people, but do I believe that you two can be knit at the soul level? Yes, I believe Wendy and I are mated at our soul. Made it in our deepest level. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
You know, so we are soulmates.
If you had met somebody else, then you would have been.
I could have been her soulmate. Yeah. If she had never come over from Trinidad and had met some famous doctor or some big, handsome, strapping man, somebody, I don't know, named Julio or something.
Okay, so Clark, from New Rochelle. Aside from Married at First Sight, do you watch any other dating relationship shows?
No, not really. She does.
You watch?
What I watch?
Unmatchables.
Yeah, I was on it, but no, not really.
Oh no, you watched Love Is Blind.
I watched Love Is Blind, the same production company.
Yeah.
And
you watched other shows?
I've watched in the past. Yeah.
But it's not like we don't binge it or anything.
No.
But we have watched other
We
shows.
have watched other stuff. Yeah, but I mean, generally when Married at First Sight's coming on, I'm faithful.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Tom from San Antonio.
Come on, Tom.
What do I do if my wife wants to spend every second with me, but I want to have some alone time to read or for a hobby?
I don't know, baby. Why don't you answer this one?
What do you mean? You have to answer it. Okay, so I'm that kind of wife, Tom, so I don't know what to tell you.
No, exactly.
So you have to answer.
First of all, here's what I think. If she wants to spend every waking moment with you, consider yourself extremely blessed. That somebody thinks enough of you, that they value you enough, they have so much fun around you that they want to spend all their time around you. That's an awesome thing. All that being said, you do have to let her know. You know what? I love spending time around you as well. You know, but as a part of there are things that I like to do that only I like to do. There are things that I like to do that I just want for me. You know, it doesn't mean I don't want you, but still keep connected because that's her. She wants to be connected.
Okay, Tom. Okay, let me give you a woman's perspective here.
See, there, just discount everything out of it.
No, it's not discounted. However, you need to understand that this can be really sensitive, because if you tell her in a way that is not palatable to her, what it probably will do is push her away. Yeah. She will go like to the opposite end of the spectrum. It's like not wanting to spend any time with you at all.
Right.
So there is something we call naked moments. It's in the book, naked moments. And if you can implement that strategy when you tell her, that will be phenomenal. And It's so great because the book is out already. So you can get it today, read it today, and then tell it tomorrow. Absolutely.
That's a good answer, baby. Good. That's fine. See you. Good.
Okay, so Bobby from Oklahoma. My wife remembers everything I have ever said. Oh, Lord. I see where this is going, Bobby. How do I not make her mad when I forget something inconsequential?
Oh, my God. How do you not? First of all, that's the problem with that question. How do I not make her mad?
Yeah.
You're living your life trying not to make your wife angry. You guys need to probably sit down with a counselor, because it sounds like you're living in fear. You're trying not to make your wife angry. And anyone who's ever been in a relationship like that knows that's a horrible existence.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And I'm not even joking. You know, you don't want to be in a situation where, you know, you have to walk on eggshells. You have to make sure that you're not saying something that's going to be is going to offend her, or that she's going to recoil or get mad or go silent on. No, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So you may need individual counseling, her individually from you.
Yeah.
But you may need counseling together, because when people harbor that kind of underlying anger, that kind of underlying angst, where they're quick to go off, that there's something in there, there's something from their past, there's something that they have not come to face with. There's some demons that they have to face. Yeah. So this is a lot deeper than just a call, just an answer here. But yeah, you guys may need some counseling.
Yeah. Okay. So who's this? Anthony?
Mm-hmm. No, nothing.
No, it's not. No, I got this. I got this part. I'm cool. Like I'm reading the question. from Detroit. He wants to know, he said, my wife always asks, what are you thinking about? Or you're quiet. Is there a way to explain that I am literally not thinking about anything?
No.
Or if I am, it's probably something dumb.
There is no way to explain that. She wants to know. Look, let me tell you a little quick story about a friend whose wife asked him that. And she asked him, "Oh, baby, what are you thinking about?" He said, "Oh, nothing, I'm good." No, I want to know, what are you thinking about? What's on your mind? What are you thinking? He said, "Baby, I'm okay. Okay." And he wasn't feeling good about the relationship. But then he said, she just kept pestering him. And he just finally told her, he said, "You know what? I was just thinking that sometimes when you go to work, I wish you didn't come home." And it was kind of like silence. But I think they got through that. What they did, they've been married for 30 years. But the short of that story is, you don't have to always say everything that's on your mind. And hopefully she'll come to understand that, she doesn't want to know everything that's on.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that,
what's the flip side?
From the wife's perspective, I think undergirding the question is just wanting to know more about you, wanting to just be closer to you. And a lot of times we have wives saying, my husband doesn't talk, he doesn't like to talk. And I don't know if you're one of those. Maybe she's trying to pull, just some conversation out of you. And even if it's something dumb, there's no big deal in just, telling her what you're thinking about.
We've done that before.
It's just
we've done that.
She wants to know you more.
Yeah, but
and if you can look at it from that perspective, then you will understand and not probably be, frustrated by the fact that, hey, you're always asking this, you're always asking.
But you definitely don't, if it's something bad, you don't want to just blurt it out.
No.
I was thinking about, this woman I saw at work today, and I was just fantasizing about,
okay,
her
yeah.
cleavage.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. That, what he said.
Okay, how much time do we have?
I don't know how much time we have.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not there.
All right, cool, go ahead.
Okay, so John from NOLA. What do I do? Yeah, I just read that one.
No, you didn't.
Ooh, that's a good one. All right, John, hold on a second.
This is Craig.
Yeah, go to Craig
Okay.
from Bloomington. He said, my wife is mean. She tends to go from slightly irritated to I'm going to punch you in the face in 2 seconds. Okay, Craig? Is there a way to let her see that? To let her see what?
Let her see that without
I'm making her mad.
Yeah. Let her see that she's mean without making her mad.
Oh, see that she's mean. Okay, cool.
Jesus. Again, this is a counseling situation.
Yes,
this is like
it really is.
Yeah.
Really
if she's that volatile, there could be anything going
Yeah.
on with her, and there needs to be counseling. It needs to be an intervention or something. Because if you're living in that kind of fear, man, you're afraid that she can go from being slightly irritated. Yeah, there are some serious unresolved issues and unresolved challenges from her past or from her present, or that she's harboring. It's like the roaches.
Yeah.
Like if you see roaches in your house and they're just chilling, there's a reason for that. And exterminator control. The reason that roaches don't run when you turn on the lights, because they're supposed to, is because the walls are full and there's no room for them to go. And so it's almost like if stuff's coming out, anger's coming out, it's because she's built up so much inside her now that it's coming out involuntarily.
Yeah. And that it does require counseling. I mean, you guys buy the book and read it by all means, but it seems like I want to ask you, like, was she always like that?
Ooh.
Was she like that when you got married? When did the change happen? What were the circumstances? All those things you have to try to figure out. So that requires counseling.
Yeah.
But get the book also, because it can help you to get some coping mechanism.
Yeah, we only got a couple more minutes.
Okay, we got a couple more questions. John from NOLA. What do I do when I ask, what do you want to eat? And she says, you pick. I ran off like 25 places, but each is a no. Why is she asking me to pick then?
Have you been in our home?
I know that. Okay, you're talking about us, okay?
Have you been to my house? I don't know, man. If you get the answer to that one, let me know.
Just tell them, listen, these are my options. If you don't want to eat any of those, just why don't you give me some options?
Yeah,
nice
and sometimes just choose something. Don't ask. Yeah, this is terrible.
No, she's gonna say no.
Well, look, so what? You're gonna starve.
No, you don't believe that because you don't do that with me.
Well, I know, but I would like to.
Just okay. This is marrying for puns, guys. Marrying for puns. Okay. I got you. Who's this? Eric? Eric says, my wife never makes the bed in the morning. It's a huge pet peeve of mine. I make it every day. But days I'm gone before she wakes up, it won't be what? Days I'm gone before she wakes up, it won't be made. Yeah, said made.
How do I ask her without her getting? What is up with this? Well, how do I ask her why they're getting mad to make the damn bed?
To make that damn bed.
First of all, what is up with all these men afraid that their wives are going to get mad? What is happening here?
I don't know.
But making the bed is, I was always told that making the bed is your first accomplishment of the day.
Yeah.
She obviously is not in the habit of making the bed. And it takes 21 days to consistent behavior to form a habit, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And so look, man, you might just take it upon you to make the bed. That might just be your task. She can do something else.
Listen, I understand it's a pet peeve, but how important is it in your relationship? Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, like how damaging is it to your relationship that she does not make the bed? And pet peeves can be curbed.
Absolutely, they can be, and I understand that. I mean, we like the bed made.
Yeah.
We both do, but sometimes neither of us make it, and we have to come back later and say, we didn't make the bed.
Yeah.
But
or another approach might be just ask her kindly when she doesn't make it. Hey, babe, you think you can make the bed? And she wouldn't do it probably. And ask her again. Hey, babe, you think you can make the bed? Eventually, I think one of those, hey, babe, you think you can make the bed, will kind of stick eventually. But even if it doesn't, is it that important?
And I've learned, don't be afraid of someone getting angry.
Yeah.
If you're telling them the truth, if you're telling them something that's going to benefit your relationship, don't be afraid of someone getting angry. Okay? You cannot live in fear in your relationship. Fear has no place in your relationship. Okay? Well, I think our time is up. Am I right? Looks like our time's up.
How do we know the time is up?
I don't know. Is that time up?
Are y'all still there? Are they still there? How do we know if there's...
Okay, there we go. See, our time is up.
Oh, there you go. Do we still have people with us? Do we still have people on the line?
Yeah, people are still there. Just trust.
Okay.
So look, thank you guys. I have a bunch of signed books here. I have some more back here. I guess I'm not done. But I have a bunch of signed books. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for spending time with us. I'm so excited. That you guys are loving my book. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Thank you so much for your support, for your prayers, for your well wishes about what we are trying to accomplish. Yeah. It really means a lot. And take care of your marriages. Take care of each other and learn to grow in love. Yes. All right? Yeah. It's the only way to get there. God bless you guys. Take care.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.